going on, everybody? Been a while. Thought I'd get at least one more use of the old cap. Lot to talk about. Lot to dissect and discuss. The past couple of weeks have been insane. The most important thing in my mind, though, is the siege on the Capitol building, or at least that's what they're calling it. It was maybe 100 people that got through and actually walked in. And then all the video of the windows being broken and the door being rammed. Yeah, do you notice how close cropped those videos are? You notice how little background noise there is immediately around the person recording those videos? And a door being rammed with 6 or 7 people in the shot. Doesn't that seem weird? Doesn't that seem strange? Media saying that thousands of people rushed the Capitol building. Don't you think that there'd be more than a broken window and a door partially rammed? I don't know. It seems like maybe there would have been. Or maybe there wasn't, because it was all a setup. Maybe there wasn't because we had some weak-minded among us that were pushed and poked and prodded to go ahead and break the single line, the one flimsy barricade. Maybe we had some infiltrators, some provocateurs that got some of our folk all amped up and willing to walk across that barricade. Again, for weeks, the media saying that Trump supporters were going to burn D.C. down. Strange that the police didn't think to harden the defenses. Really, really bizarre. But no, they didn't. Did they just not believe the media? They consistently believe the media. They consistently back up the media, especially the cops and the police department in D.C. They feed the media all of their if it bleeds, it leads stories. But in this time, they just had so much confidence, so much faith in the Trump supporters. They didn't see a need to really shore up those defenses. So a couple of prodders, a couple of pokers, got a couple of more weak-minded in the group to go ahead and cross that barricade and fill up the Capitol stairs. But you look at the video and you look at the pictures and you realize, 100, 150 people may have walked in to the initial lobby area. But destruction, I'd count a total of 12 people, total, involved in any sort of breakage. Out of 100,000 people that showed up? One picture of the same, eerily familiar person standing at Pelosi's post with her hands up in the air, looking a hell of a lot like that idiot screaming, "No!" in 2016. I don't know if it's the same person or not, but it doesn't look like one of ours. definitely doesn't look like one of ours. I mean, I'm not saying that all of our people are beautiful, but they're not like that. Then pictures start coming out. Picture after picture of people at the Trump rally compared to people who look like, damn man, doppelgangers at least. Probably the same person at BLM rallies. They're wearing Trump hats yesterday and carrying defund the police signs a few weeks or months ago. It was a setup. The city of DC made sure that everything was just honeypotted so that they can get another propaganda ding against Trump supporters and Republicans. And, there's no excuse for the morons who played along. I don't excuse them at all. But if you think about it, our morons are so much better than theirs. Our morons allowed themselves to be led onto the steps and then into the promenade or lobby area. But they would not be led into destruction and violence. The only violence came from the Capitol Police or the Secret Service. One of the two shot a young woman, probably surrounded by people she did not know. She was just so amped up and psyched to demonstrate against the obvious theft. And now she's gone, along with 4 or 5 others. Those people, most of them fell off scaffolding and hurt themselves. Compare that to the morons on the left, the useful idiots, the Antifas. Go into a neighborhood where a criminal is justifiably shot by a cop, and it just takes a couple of them, break a window here, light a fire there, and all of a sudden, the flood of looters, just the floodgates open up. It says a lot about who votes for who. I say it all the time. On the left, people who vote for politicians on the left, you can't make the argument that they're high information voters. You cannot say that they're intelligent on any real, measurably above average level. They're voting for a party who only does well when you hurt. They only increase in power and in authority when their constituents are in pain, physical, mental, emotional, financial pain. Their entire way of holding on to power is to ensure that you're consistently in need of them, incapable of doing for yourself. Nobody's talking about the obvious false flag / setup that was the Capitol building siege. Everybody's happy to say, well, I didn't expect Trump supporters to do this, but there they go, there they went. Again, it's more of that earned privilege, right? For 4 years, Trump supporters have been beaten, abused, bruised, kicked in the teeth. And where other people, where leftists would have cracked and broken and just set fire to everything, Trump supporters kept their cool. Law and order. Focused on doing things right. So maybe, they're not bad guys, right? I don't think Tim Pool's a bad guy. He's been saying, can't believe Trump supporters disappointed us this way. Idiot. You damn fool. Maybe the Trump supporters just raised the expectation bar way too high. Maybe that's what happened here. Whatever the case, we're going to take a beating now. Media, always against us, always looking for a way to break us down, is going to have all the fodder they need. The politicians, now with full control in Senate, Congress, and the presidency, are going to, they talked about Truth and Reconciliation Commissions. They talked about breaking the back of the Trumpists. You got Democrats saying that the Republicans that objected to the election results should be expelled from Congress. The machine is huge. Right? You say, well, they wouldn't do that. Right? People are saying, yeah, that's a resolution, but they're not going to actually do that. Why wouldn't they do that? Now the media and social media and big tech will start to rile up all of the public and tell them all, listen, the right thing to do is expel these guys. The pressure, they'll start to create a pressure cooker for the Democrats to come through with it and actually follow through. And again, right, wrong, or indifferent, doesn't matter. The Democrats will follow and fall in lockstep with the radicals. They're going to push and keep pushing until they get the civil war that they've been predicting. They're not going to stop. Maybe that's the way it has to go. Maybe that's the natural flow. Maybe there's just no other option here. If that's the way it has to go, that's the way it has to go. Honestly, I don't know how people do this, live in America today, without faith in God, for one thing. I don't know how that even happens, right? Like I accept fully that this life I got is temporary. It goes as far as it goes, and then there's an eternity after all this. I don't have a problem, squaring up to an oncoming invading army looking to take my house, my family, do me some harm. I have no problem, firing off as many rounds as I can until they get me down, right? This is not all there is. But if you think it's all there is, I don't know how you do this. The hopelessness. Don't get me wrong, I felt some of that hopelessness yesterday. I was feeling down yesterday. But, it doesn't take long to remember, God's in control. I really believe that. And I know atheists think that that's a cop-out, that's just a way to sort of do nothing because God's in control. No, that's not what that is. What it is we do everything we can, and we do everything in line with the diktats of God, and we fight as hard as our little earthly shells will withstand the fight, but always knowing that if the fight kills us, no big deal. No big deal. Anyways, I'll start uploading again, and we'll keep conversations going, and I'll keep podcasting on the Non-Negotiables podcast. I needed a break, man. I'm just disgusted with politics and everything that's going on, and but I'll keep going. I'll keep fighting. We'll keep talking, and we'll see. We'll see where it all leads. Catch you all on the next one.